friends, it's Gloria and welcome back to another video. This is going to be the 26 random questions tag. I've seen a few people do it and I wasn't personally tagged, but it sounds like fun. It's a little bit of like a get to know me random, hence the word random in the title, questions, and I think it's a lot of fun to do these. So here we go. I'm going to answer 26 random questions and you're probably going to get to know some things about me. The very first question is, what was your most recent YouTube rabbit hole? And that was definitely the Life in Looks by Vogue, where celebrities go through their different outfits, like big moments of fashion that they experienced. I definitely stayed up way too late watching all of those. And then most recently I watched the entirety of season 41 of Survivor, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. Still love it. You cannot faze me by saying that it's all fake and it's a reality TV show. It's still superior. So I definitely went down a rabbit hole of watching like random interviews of the players and Jeff Probst and all that kind of stuff. Those are usually my rabbit holes, is like celebrity interviews or talk show videos about a particular person. Question 2 is, what song is currently stuck in your head? I rarely get songs stuck in my head, unlike my husband, who literally wakes up like wide awake first thing in the morning and he will be like singing a song and he's like, I can't get the song out of my head. And I'm like, that is so weird, you just woke up. Anyways, I don't really get songs stuck in my head, but to answer this question with something, I'll say the last song that I liked and saved on Spotify is Down Low by Typographic, and it is a chill beats song. I think it was like on a instrumental chill beats playlist. Question 3 is, what kind of music do you listen to most? Music listening has gone down significantly, but like I just mentioned, chill instrumental beats. If I'm doing something and I'm not in the mood to listen to an audiobook, that is what I'm going to listen to. When we have game nights with friends, that is what I'm going to turn on. It's like the perfect background music. I love it. Question 4 is, what is something you need to get better at? I need to stop procrastinating. I am a really bad procrastinator. I always push stuff off, and I would love to be someone that when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something right then, and I'm not gonna put it off till tomorrow, or let's be honest, not tomorrow, months down the road. Question 5 is, do you set goals, and what are your goals for the end of the year / next year? Kind of. Yes, I set goals sometimes, but I'm not really like get down on myself too much if I don't accomplish them. My husband and I have like marriage goals that we make on our anniversary every year that we also like loosely stick to if we can, and don't beat ourselves up too much if we don't. And then I have some reading goals, made a video about it, but the main goal was to read less, and that's literally the complete opposite of what's happened this year. Question 6 is, when was the last time you lost your temper? This is an interesting question that comes at like this time in my life. Without getting into too many details, the past few months have definitely been like the hardest season of my life. A lot of personal stuff going on with our home, and I have just been in like a state of irritability at all times. So apologies to anyone that like I'm in close contact with, specifically my husband. Any little thing that like would annoy someone and you know, you just get over it right away, I just have a completely irrational response to. So I've lost my temper not just once, but many times in the past few months. I'm realizing how much anger I have in me that I wasn't realizing was there. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm trying to work through. Question 7 is, do you swear too much? No, I would not say too much at all. I do swear occasionally. Like, I won't ever swear in front of people. Like, I don't use swear words in my daily language on BookTube here. If it is around someone, it will come out if I hurt myself or if I drop something or break something. 100% an F word is coming out of me if I stub my toe. Like, it's just, I cannot control that. And then also, I will swear if it's in a song and I'm singing along to the song and it's like a song that I'm really into and there's swear words in it and I'm alone in my car, I will definitely be singing the swear word that's in the song because it's there and it just sounds fun to say sometimes. Question 8 is, do you spend too much money on shoes? No, not at all really. I don't really spend too much money on any kind of like clothing and apparel, and I guess I should qualify that with, I don't spend too much because I don't buy too much. When I do need something, like I need to buy a pair of jeans, right? Let's say that is what I need. I'm going to research and find and spend quite a bit of money, probably up to $100 to $200 on one pair of jeans from a company that I love and trust, but those jeans are gonna last me like 10 years. Question 9 is, what is the worst book that you have ever read? I looked through my Goodreads and I have 5 books in the last 2 years that all received 1 stars, and those are Sharp Objects, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, The Wonder by Emma Donoghue, They Never Learn, and A Woman of Intelligence. So I did not like slash kind of hated all of those reading experiences. I'm sure I talked about them at length in like my worst books of the year videos for the respective years. Question 10 is, are you a homebody or are you more adventurous? 100% homebody. I'm so much more happier at home, chilling, comfortable, reading a book, watching a movie or TV show, having friends over and just being like cozy inside. I do like adventure now and again, but I'm way more in the mood to just be at home. Question 11 is, do you take naps? Very, very rarely. Question 12 is, have you ever been to Minnesota? I think I have, on a layover in St. Paul when I was on my way to Washington, D.C. on a red-eye flight. So very, very briefly. Question 13 is, have you ever tried to emulate someone? I don't think so. I'm not really good at like acting or lying or faking or just not being who I am at the moment. And I don't even think I can like try to be someone else, if that's the way I'm understanding this question. I don't know if that means like, have you ever had a role model? And I don't think I have, if I'm honest. Question 14 is, what is the worst food you have ever eaten? And the first thing that kind of popped in my head is liver, or like organ meat. I think I tried it once when I had like iron deficiency and my mom was like, you need to eat liver. And I was like, no, no, I will rather take iron supplements, please, thanks. Question 15 is, do you enjoy bars? What kind? Have you ever been a regular at one? No, I have never been a regular, and I really haven't been to too many bars. I don't really like go out to drink. I'll have a cocktail or like a hard cider every now and again with dinner, but in general not a big like party person, and never really like partied in college. I have probably visited the most bars when traveling to like go get a drink after dinner somewhere in Italy or somewhere in Amsterdam or that kind of thing. Question 16 is, have you ever been hungover? Yes, once, and not a good time. Not a good time. Question 17 was, when was the last time you laughed out loud while reading? I don't find a lot of things funny. It's very rarely that I do, but I just read my first ever contemporary romance, and that was Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and it did make me kind of, not like fully laugh out loud, but it did make me kind of smile and like, ha, at some parts. So that is the most recent read that had some very funny parts. Question 18 is, how would you label or describe yourself politically? I would say I am apolitical / independent / depending on the topic and the theme and the conversation, I can be a little bit more liberal with some things and I could be a lot more conservative with others. So just totally depends. In general, I do not like talking about politics unless I feel like it is a safe place and I'm with a friend and we can just discuss the information at hand and talk about our feelings and what we think about that thing. But yeah, in general, don't really like to get into that. Question 19 is, what was the last movie you watched? And that is the newest Dune movie. I just watched that just a few days ago. I was very intrigued, but then at the same time super confused because I felt like I wanted more and I needed to know more. And then I was like, well, it is a book series, so if I want more, I could get more. So I went to the library and I checked out the first book. I have the audiobook waiting for me on Libby as well. So am I gonna pick up a very complicated political sci-fi after watching this movie? Like, who am I? That is like not my kind of thing at all. But for some reason, I'm very intrigued, and like the movie made me intrigued. So who knows what's gonna happen with that. Question 20 is, do you want kids? Do you wish you had kids? And if you have some, give some advice. I don't have any, but I do want some. I didn't want kids for a very long time. If you asked me when I was a teenager, like a young adult, I was like, no, don't want any kids, can't handle that. But then I met my husband and I was like, oh man, he would be such a great dad. I would not have to go through being a parent alone. You know, I'd have a very capable partner who's there. And so yeah, we're probably gonna have kids. I mean, God willing, who knows what's gonna happen. You know, you can plan all you want and then your body has other things. So I don't know, but the plan is yes. I think by this time next year, I could be pregnant. So who knows? Question 21 is, do you get along with your siblings? Yes, I do. I have 2 older siblings. I have a brother Igor and a sister Olga, and they are much older than me, like 8 and 9 years older than me. So we do get along, but we just don't see each other very often. They also live in different states. We're not near each other anymore, in different life stages. And when I was young, we weren't super close because they were older, and like they both got married when I was 12 years old. And then after 12, I was basically an only child. Love my siblings, but we're just not as close as I'd like to be. Question 22 is, what is a book you have serious issues with but love? I had a really hard time answering this question because I think if I had super serious issues with a book, I'm not gonna love it. So those are two contradictory for me. But some examples that popped in my head when I was thinking about this was, I made a video about the book Redeeming Love, which is a very popular Christian fiction, and a movie was recently released. And it was one of my all-time favorite books, and I reread it and I had some thoughts on it. So still a great book and loved it, but it had issues and I had to work through those issues. And then this next one, Normal People by Sally Rooney. Don't get me wrong, I did not love this book. I actually kind of hated it, but it was at the same time so compulsive that I had to read it in one sitting. And I'm having a hard time separating a book that's compulsive with a book that's good. And sometimes they work together and sometimes they don't. So I guess that is a book that I have issues with. Question 23 is, what is your favorite theme song to a movie or TV show? I have a whole playlist on Spotify of movie scores. Top 3 for sure though. Pride and Prejudice 2005, that like main theme song. I also love the La La Land soundtrack, love the movie, and love the like main La La Land theme. It's gorgeous, just adore it. And Lion King. Lion King is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies, just one of my favorite movies of all time, and I love songs in Lion Kings. Question 24 is, do you like your job? If you switch careers, what would you do? So I've already shuffled around a lot. I went to school for business and marketing, and I worked at an ad agency with social media as the focus. I enjoyed that for the most part, but then I got burnt out and kind of hated it, so I quit. And I'm doing this like B-way business honey thing for my family. And then I was potentially going to go into like tax stuff and like got my tax license, but then I was like, nope, hate that. And then I found myself at the library. So now I work at the library and still do this honey stuff, and I enjoy both. I love working at the library. I'm kind of exploring what that future could look like. Like, do I pursue my master's degree of library science and like go that route? I have no idea, but I'm enjoying the 2 part-time jobs I have now. Question 25 is, what is something you love about the city you live in? So I live in Portland, Oregon, or in a suburb technically outside of Portland, but nearby. Portland overall is great. I love that we have a little bit of everything. I love that there's parks everywhere, there's beautiful walks, there's so many cute little boutiques and businesses and coffee shops and cafes, and it's a cool place to live. And then the last random question is, who is your celebrity crush? I actually have a confession. When I was single, I started this. I still have it in my notes app, but I had a notes titled Dashing Gentleman, and anytime that I watched a TV show or a movie or watched some celebrity interview or something of someone who I thought was attractive, I would put it in this note. This question made me look through that list and made me giggle. Couple celebrity crushes. So John Krasinski, but like not in The Office, like the way he looks now, like in The Quiet Place, you know? Rick Grimes, or technically Andrew Lincoln playing Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead, definitely has phases of attractiveness, but I think it's also the character more so than the actor. Chris Hemsworth from Thor Ragnarok, specifically that short hair. So those are some celebrities that I think are attractive. So there's no prompt to tag anyone, but I want to tag some people because I think this is fun. So Heather, I know that I said that I'm gonna stop with these tag videos, but apparently I'm not. So Heather from Reading with a Vengeance, and then I would love to hear Nikki's answers from Red Dot Reads. I don't know if you've done this or if you were tagged already, sorry. And I will tag Annie from Annie's Book Nook, would love to hear your answers, and Brittany from Literally Smitten. So thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you learned some things about me, and I will see you guys in another video soon. Bye.